This week's Torah portion is Toldot, or Generations. The Torah portion is taken from Genesis chapter 25, verse 19 through chapter 28, verse 9. The Haftarah is Malachi chapter 1, verse 1 through chapter 2, verse 7. And the Apostolic portion is taken from Matthew chapter 10, verses 21 through 38. Genesis 25:19 through 34. And this is the genealogy of Yitzhak, Abraham's son. Abraham brought forth Yitzhak. And Yitzhak was 40 years old when he took Ribkah as wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean of Padan, Aram, the sister of Laban, the Aramean. And Yitzhak prayed to Yehovah for his wife, because she was barren. And Yehovah answered his prayer, and Ribkah his wife conceived. And within her the children struggled together. And she said, If all is right, why am I this way? So she went to ask Yehovah. And Yehovah said to her, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 people shall be separated from your body, and 1 people shall be stronger than the other, and the older serve the younger. And when the days were filled for her to give birth, and see, twins were in her womb. And the first one came out red all over, like a hairy garment. So they called his name Esau. And afterward his brother came out, with his hand holding onto Esau's heel. So his name was called Jacob. And Yitzhak was 36 years old when she bore them. And the boys grew up. And Esau became a man knowing how to hunt, a man of the field, while Jacob was a complete man, dwelling in tents. And Yitzhak loved Esau because he ate of his wild game, but Ribkah loved Jacob. And Jacob cooked a stew, and Esau came in from the field, and he was weary. And Esau said to Jacob, Please feed me with that same red stew, for I am weary. That is why his name was called Edom. But Jacob said, Sell me your birthright today. And Esau said, Look, I am going to die, so why should I have birthright? Then Jacob said, Swear to me today. And he swore to him, and sold his birthright to Jacob. Jacob then gave Esau bread and stew of lentils. And he ate and drank, and rose up and left. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Genesis 26. And there was a scarcity of food in the land, besides the first scarcity of food, which was in the days of Abraham. And Yitzhak went to Abimelech, sovereign of the Philistines, in Gerar. And Yehovah appeared to him and said, Do not go down to Mitzrayim. Live in the land which I command you. Sojourn in this land, and I shall be with you and bless you. For I give all these lands to you and your seed, and I shall establish the oath which I swore to Abraham your father. And I shall increase your seed like the stars of the heavens, and I shall give all these lands to your seed, and in your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed. Because Abraham obeyed my voice and guarded my charge, my commands, my laws, and my Torah. And Yitzhak dwelt in Gerar. And when the men of the place asked about his wife, he said, She is my sister. For he was afraid to say, She is my wife, thinking, lest the men of the place should kill me for Ribkah, because she is good-looking. And it came to be, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, sovereign of the Philistines, looked through a window, and he watched, and saw Yitzhak playing with Ribkah his wife. So Abimelech called Yitzhak and said, See, truly, she is your wife. So how could you say, She is my sister? And Yitzhak said to him, Because I said, lest I die on account of her. And Abimelech said, "What is this you have done to us? One of the people had almost lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt on us." And Abimelech commanded all his people, saying, "He who touches this man or his wife shall certainly be put to death." And Yitzhak sowed in that land, and reaped in the same year 100-fold. And Jehovah blessed him. And the man grew great, and went forward until he became very great. And he came to have possessions of flocks, and possessions of herds, and a great body of servants. And the Philistines envied him. And the Philistines had stopped up all the wells which his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father, and filled them with dirt. And Abimelech said to Yitzhak, "Go away from us, for you are much mightier than we." So Yitzhak went from there, and pitched his tent in the Wadi Gerar, and dwelt there. And Yitzhak dug again the wells of water, which they had dug in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them up after the death of Abraham. And he called them by the names which his father had called them. But when Yitzhak's servants dug in the wadi and found a well of running water there, the herdsmen of Gerar strove with Yitzhak's herdmen, saying, "The water is ours." And he called the name of the well Esek, because they strove with him. And they dug another well, and they strove over that one too. And he called its name Sitnah. And he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not strive over it. And he called its name Rehoboth, and said, "For now Jehovah has made room for us, and we shall bear fruit in the land." And from there he went up to Beersheba. And Jehovah appeared to him the same night, and said, "I am the Elohim of your father Abraham. Do not fear, for I am with you, and shall bless you and increase your seed, for my servant Abraham's sake." And he built an altar there, and called on the name of Jehovah. And he pitched his tent there, and the servants of Yitzhak dug a well there. And Abimelech came to him from Gerar, with Ahuzath, one of his friends, and Pekol, the commander of his army. And Yitzhak said to them, "Why have you come to me, seeing you have hated me, and have sent me away from you?" But they said, "We have clearly seen that Jehovah is with you." And we said, "Please, let there be an oath between us, between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you, that you do no evil to us, as we have not touched you, and as we have done only good toward you, and have sent you away in peace. You are now blessed by Jehovah." And he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. And they rose early in the morning, and swore an oath with one another. And Yitzhak let them go, and they departed from him in peace. And on the same day it came to be that the servants of Yitzhak came and informed him about the well which they had dug, and said to him, "We have found water." So he called it Shabbat. Therefore the name is Beersheba to this day. And when Esau was 40 years old, he took his wife Jehudath, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. And they were a bitterness of spirit to Yitzhak and Ribkah. Genesis 27. And it came to be, when Yitzhak was old, and his eyes were too dim to see, that he called Esau, his elder son, and said to him, "My son." And he answered him, "Here I am." And he said, "See now, I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now then, please take your weapons, your quiver, and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt wild game for me. And make me a tasty dish, such as I love, and bring it to me to eat, in order that my being does bless you before I die." And Ribkah heard when Yitzhak spoke to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt wild game and to bring it. And Ribkah spoke to Jacob her son, saying, "See, I heard your father speak to Esau, your brother, saying, Bring me wild game and make me a tasty dish to eat, and bless you in the presence of Jehovah before my death. And now, my son, listen to my voice according to what I command you. Please go to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats, and I make a tasty dish from them for your father, such as he loves. And you shall take it to your father, and he shall eat it, so that he might bless you before his death. And Jacob said to Ribekah his mother, See, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth-skinned man. What if my father touches me? Then I shall be like a deceiver in his eyes, and shall bring a curse on myself and not a blessing. But his mother said to him, Let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice, and go, get them for me. And he went and fetched them, and brought them to his mother, and his mother made a tasty dish, such as his father loved. And Ribekah took the best garments of her elder son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the young goats on his hands and on the smooth part of his neck. Then she gave the tasty dish and the bread, which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob. And he went to his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who are you, my son? And Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you said to me. Please rise, sit, and eat of my wild game, so that your being might bless me. But Yitzhak said to his son, How is it that you have found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because Jehovah your Elohim brought it to me. Then Yitzhak said to Jacob, Please come near, so that I feel you, my son, whether you are truly my son Esau or not. And Jacob went near to Yitzhak his father, and he felt him and said, The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy like his brother's Esau's hands, and he blessed him. And he said, Are you truly my son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near me, and let me eat of my son's wild game, so that my being might bless you. So he brought it near to him, and he ate. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Yitzhak said to him, Please come near and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his garments, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field, which Jehovah has blessed. And Elohim gave you the dew of the heavens, of the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. Let peoples serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brothers, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be those cursing you, and blessed be those blessing you. And it came to be, as soon as Yitzhak had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had hardly left the presence of Yitzhak his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he too had made a tasty dish, and brought it to his father, and said to his father, Let my father rise and eat of his son's wild game, so that your being might bless me. And his father Yitzhak said to him, Who are you? And he said, I am your son, your firstborn, Esau. Then Yitzhak trembled exceedingly, and said, Who was it then who hunted wild game and brought it to me? And I ate all of it before you came, and I have blessed him. Yea, he is blessed. When Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with an exceedingly great and bitter cry, and said to his father, Bless me, me too, O my father. And he said, Your brother came with deceit and took your blessing. And Esau said, What was his name, then, called Jacob? For he has caught me by the heel these 2 times. He took my birthright, and see, now he has taken my blessing. And he said, Have you not reserved a blessing for me? Then Yitzhak answered and said to Esau, See, I have made him your master, and all his brothers I have given to him as servants, and I have sustained him with grain and wine. And what then shall I do for you, O my son? And Esau said to his father, Have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me too, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Yitzhak his father answered and said to him, See, your dwelling is of the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heavens from above. And by your sword you are to live, and serve your brother. And it shall be, when you grow restless, that you shall break his yoke from your neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning my father draw near, that I am going to kill my brother Jacob. And the words of Esau, her older son, were reported to Ribekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, See, your brother Esau comforts himself concerning you, to kill you. And now, my son, listen to my voice, and rise. Flee to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him a few days, until your brother's wrath turns away, until your brother's displeasure turns away from you, and he forgets what you have done to him. And I shall send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereaved of both of you in one day? And Ribekah said to Yitzhak, I am disgusted with my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob takes a wife from the daughters of Heth, like these who are the daughters of the land, what is my life to me? Genesis 28, 1 through 9. And Yitzhak called Jacob and blessed him, and commanded him, and said to him, Do not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take a wife for yourself from there, from the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. And Al Shaddai bless you, and make you bear fruit and increase you, and you shall become an assembly of peoples, and give you the blessing of Abraham, to you and your seed with you, so that you inherit the land of your sojournings, which Elohim gave to Abraham. So Yitzhak sent Jacob away, and he went to Padan Aram, to Laban, son of Bethuel the Aramean, the brother of Ribekah, the mother of Jacob and Esau. And Esau saw that Yitzhak had blessed Jacob, and sent him away to Padan Aram, to take himself a wife from there. And that, as he blessed him, he gave him a command, saying, Do not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. And that Jacob had obeyed his father and his mother, and had gone to Padan Aram. So Esau saw that the daughters of Canaan did not please his father Yitzhak. And Esau went to Ishmael, and took Mahalath the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebaioth, to be his wife, besides the wives he had. Malachi 1 through 2, verse 7. The message of the word of Yehovah to Yisrael by Malachi. I have loved you, said Yehovah. But you ask, In what way have you loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, declares Yehovah? And I love Jacob. But I have hated Esau, and have laid waste his mountains and his inheritance for the jackals of the wilderness. If Edom says, We have been beaten down, let us return and build the ruins, Yehovah of hosts said thus, Let them build, but I tear down, and they shall be called border of wrongness, and the people against whom Yehovah is enraged forever. And your eyes shall see, and you shall say, Great is Yehovah beyond the border of Israel. A son esteems his father, and a servant his master. And if I am the father, where is my esteem? And if I am a master, where is my fear? Said Yehovah of hosts to you priests who despise my name. But if you ask, in what way have we despised your name? You are presenting defiled food on my altar. But if you ask, in what way have we defiled you? Because you say, the table of Jehovah is despicable. And when you present the blind as a slaughtering, is it not evil? And when you present the lame and sick, is it not evil? Bring it then to your governor. Would he be pleased with you? Would he accept you favorably? Said Jehovah of hosts. And now, entreat the face of El to show favor to us. This has been done by your hands. Would he show favor to you? Said Jehovah of hosts. Who among you would shut the doors, so that you would not kindle fire on my altar for naught? I have no pleasure in you, said Jehovah of hosts, nor do I accept an offering from your hands. For from the rising of the sun even to its going down, my name is great among nations, and in every place incense is presented to my name, and a clean offering. For my name is great among nations, said Jehovah of hosts. But you are profaning me, in that you say, the table of Jehovah is defiled, and its food is despicable. And you said, oh, what weariness! And you sneered at it, said Jehovah of hosts. And you brought in plunder, and the lame and the sick. Thus you have brought in the offering. Should I accept this from your hand? Said Jehovah. But cursed be the deceiver, who has a male in his flock, and makes a vow, but a slaughtering to Jehovah what is blemished. For I am a great sovereign, said Jehovah of hosts, and my name is feared among nations. And now, O priest, this command is for you. If you do not hear, and if you do not take it to heart to give esteem to my name, said Jehovah of hosts, I shall send a curse upon you, and I shall curse your blessings. And indeed I have cursed them, because you do not take it to heart. See, I shall rebuke your seed, and scatter dung before your faces, the dung of your festivals, and you shall be taken away with it. And you shall know that I have sent this command to you, as being my covenant with Levi, said Jehovah of hosts. My covenant with him was life and peace. And I gave them to him to fear, and he feared me and stood in awe of my name. The Torah of truth was in his mouth, and unrighteousness was not found on his lips. He walked with me in peace and straightness, and turned many away from crookedness. For the lips of a priest should guard knowledge, and they seek the Torah from his mouth, for he is a messenger of Jehovah of hosts. Matthew 10:21 through 38. And brother shall deliver up brother to death, and a father his child. And children shall raise up against parents, and shall put them to death. And you shall be hated for all, for my name's sake. But he who shall have endured to the end shall be saved. And when they persecute you in this city, flee to another. For truly I say to you, you shall by no means have gone through the city of Israel before the Son of Adam comes. A taught one is not above his teacher, nor a servant above his master. It is enough for the taught one to become like his teacher, and a servant like his master. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebul, how much more than those of his household? Therefore do not fear them, for whatever is covered shall be revealed, and whatever is hidden shall be made known. What I say to you in the dark, speak in the light, and what you hear in the ear, proclaim on the housetops. Do not fear those who kill the body, but are unable to kill the being. Rather, fear him who is able to destroy both being and body in Gehenna. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a copper coin? And not one of them falls to the ground without your Father, and even the hairs on your head are all numbered. So do not fear, you are worth more than many sparrows. Every one, therefore, shall confess me before men. Him I shall also confess before my Father, who is in heavens. But whoever shall deny me before men, him I shall also deny before my Father, who is in the heavens. Do not think that I have come before to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to bring division, a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's enemies are those of his own household. He who loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he who loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he who does not take up his stake and follow after me is not worthy of me.